As you can tell, today my afro is behaving. It came out to play, you know what I'm saying? Okay, wait. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. Feel free to join the family by clicking the subscribe button below and the bell next to it so that you're notified every time the girl uploads a video. So, without wasting any time, let's get right into the video. But what is a Mickey video without rich people juice? If you don't know what this is by now and you are subscribed to this channel, then I don't know what you are doing right now. As you guys can tell by the title below, I'll be doing my first story time ever. I don't know how this is going to go, but we'll never know if we don't try. We'll never know until we try. We'll never know until we try. Alright, so let's get right into the video. As most of you know, I am a graduate of BSc Nursing, Bachelor of Sciences in Nursing, and my favorite course in my school years was OBG, Obstetrics and Gynecology. I loved the idea of midwifery. I loved the idea of being in the maternity ward. I love the idea of labor. It sounds awkward, right? So we had 8 semesters in total, and the only time that you get exposed to maternity related issues, labor, stages of labor, whatnot, contractions, and how to know the difference and whatnot is only in 7th semester. So before then, you're anxious as a nursing student. You know, sometimes people believe that nursing is all about labor. So you're thinking, when am I going to go to the labor ward? When am I going to help conduct a delivery? Well, the time came. The time came. So the first time I entered the delivery room or labor ward or maternity ward, whatever you want to call it, I remember I was in 3rd year. I just don't remember the date, of course, but I was a 3rd year student, very anxious to see the maternity ward. What goes on during labor? It's just labor this, labor that. Midwives are everywhere, telling you what to expect, what not to expect, what to do, what not to do. And as a student nurse, you really don't know what to expect until you experience it yourself. So I remember that day we were having our normal hospital, what did we used to call it? Oh my gosh, I didn't finish school that long ago to forget. Duty, yes. We were having hospital duty that day, and we were at more of a government hospital. So we went there, and the senior nurse was like, if you feel like you can't do this, don't proceed. You know, don't go in and then start vomiting and what. So I told myself, you know what, the same way I want to go into the theater is the same way I want to go into this ward, and I'm going to do it. So we entered, and all you hear is women screaming, shouting, yelling, noise. Guys, the labor ward is hectic. Like every bed had a patient screaming and in labor. So I was asking myself, is this the part where the baby pops, where she's screaming? Because you know, in movies we watch it and they say push and the baby's out. No, it turned out there was more to that. But we'll get to that when I tell you about my own experience, about my first delivery that I conducted. I had observed over 7 deliveries before I was trusted enough to conduct mine in 7th semester. So after that, what had happened was my Indian friend squeezed my hand. Like I was even turning red. I'm like, Ruchi, what's wrong? I asked her, and she's like, I don't think I can do this. I don't think I can do this. I'm leaving. I'm like, where are you going? And she's like, no, Michael, I can't. This is not for me. You know, I want to be a lecturer. I can't do. I'm like, okay, go. So I remained with my other African friend in the ward, and we're like, you know what, my guy, where we come from, we have to learn how to deliver babies. It's part of the course anyways. That's the beauty of nursing, if you ask me. That's the beauty of nursing. Being able to do almost everything in the hospital, from the general ward to maternity to theater to fracture unit to surgical unit, everything. That's just so beautiful. So we watched our first delivery. We even held hands. We were like, my sister, we need strength. So we held hands and watched the senior nurse conduct everything. We watched her administer the drugs that needed to be administered. We watched her do everything basically. I won't say the steps now because you'll get bored when I get to my experience. The main morale, the main points of the story. So cool. Sharp. Fast forward to 4th year. That kept on happening until like the 4th delivery we watched, and then we got confident enough to even be asked to conduct and help and whatnot. So come 7th semester, we are doing OBG. We learn about all these steps of labor. What do you call it? How a baby should be taken care of during birth and after birth, how to take care of the mother as well, because it's not all about the unborn baby. It's also about the mother, you know. So we figured out, okay, this is it. We are now in final year and there's no backing out. There's no backing down. There's no being scared. There's no shying out. There's no holding hands. There's no squeezing each other's hands. Let's do this. So it was a beautiful morning. I remember. I even wore my best uniform. You know, you have two uniforms as a student. One for, and the other nice one that fits you perfectly. Miguel was dramatic. She wore the uniform that fits her nicely. I wore my lab coat. I was ready. I even carried a stethoscope, guys, my thermometer, my whole entire kit. I said, today I'm going to the labor ward. Today is the day. So we arrived at that hospital, and that was our first delivery we were supposed to conduct, me and my friend, or my friend and I. English I had. So the senior nurse told us she was just going to stand there and watch what we do. So this young lady was only 21 and she was a preemie. That meant that she was giving birth to her first child. If a woman is a multi, it means it's a second, third or fourth child. But if it's a preemie, it's the first child. We call them preemie gravida. So she came in and she was already having contractions. So we were like, looking at each other, should we panic? No, now's not the time to panic. What do we do? We started calming her down. Yes, I remember putting her in positions that would lessen the pain. You know, we made her squat. She was screaming. We made her lie flat. She was still screaming. We put her in the lithotomy position. She was still screaming. We were like, what do we do? We just have to time these contractions and see how often she contracted. So she was contracting after every 2 minutes, and every time she was contracting, she kept on screaming and she kept on pushing after every contraction. She wasn't supposed to do that. And also, preemies take so long in labor. They can take the whole day. They can take the whole day, 9 hours plus, just having contractions and contractions. At that moment, the girl is asking herself, hey, do I really want to give birth? Do I really want a child? At this point, we are just there for this lady, and she's there crying at the top of her voice, insulting us in Hindi, screaming and yelling, and the senior nurses were so mean, and they came on to tell her, just like, keep quiet, shut up. They kept on like, not necessarily hitting her, but like slapping her like on her back. Like, I don't know if that was a way to ease the pain or what. Like, keep quiet, like stop it, like you can do this or something like that. I don't know. They were speaking Hindi. And so after that, okay, fast forward to like 5 hours later. I remember having contractions for almost 5 hours. So we started the process. Yes, now she was in labor. We did the per-vaginal examination, and we checked that she was 10 centimeters dilated now after 5 to 6 hours of contractions, and she was ready to what? To deliver. So we put on our gloves, aprons, masks, and we were ready to do this. I told myself that this is it. You know what? You've always wanted to deliver a baby. Do this and let's see how it goes. And oh, so cute. All the babies I've delivered have been baby girls. Lord, give me a sign. Give me a sign. Yes. So the process started. She was pushing and pushing and pushing. And unfortunately, because it was her first time her VJJ was this small. This is the VJJ, okay? So what can I use? Okay, let me use this spray. This is the VJJ. This is the baby. The baby's head has to pass. Let me do this. Has to pass through that, like that, okay? Your job as a nurse is to make sure that that baby does not get trapped on that opening of the VJJ, because as a preemie sometimes it's quite small and it takes a while to get elasticated, okay, or open up. I don't know what word to use. So, and the baby comes out facing this way, so you have to be careful and hold the perineum also, like the VJJ lips, to ensure that there's no tearing, perineal tearing. So you have to hold the perineum. At the same time, you have to support the baby. So once the head is out, you have to focus on removing the shoulders. Now Mugel is there, the head is out. Now you have to like gently rotate the baby's head so that you can remove one shoulder and the other shoulder. But during that process, the vagina tore. Now she needed an episiotomy. This is the process where you like literally now just cut the VJJ on both sides to make more space. Lord, did that woman not cry. I felt like we had done something wrong, because all the deliveries we had watched, the perineum never tore, but this one is tearing. Why? Okay, it tore, and then the senior nurse had to chip in because now we were scared. Just understand, put yourself in my shoes. So they had to use a surgical scissors and do the episiotomy, and now there was more room created for the baby's shoulders to come out, and I continued and rotated the baby's shoulders. One came out, the other came out, and once the shoulders are out, you're basically done, and you pull the baby out, and you don't you have to make sure that the umbilical cord is not choking the baby, and you don't separate the cord immediately from the mom. You give it time to suck in all the blood, all the nutrients, all the iron, everything from the mother. So you can imagine. That was the first time I touched. Before I was just seeing, that was the first time I touched, and it was a beautiful sight for me. The baby came out and she was crying, and then we cut the cord and everything. Now we put the baby on the mother's chest. It's called kangaroo mother care. It causes the mother and the baby to bond more. So now we were removing the placenta. It was time to remove the placenta. So we had to administer an injection called oxytocin to remove the placenta. Yeah. So yeah, the placenta went through its processes, also it detached, and it came out, and like, whoo, it came out. It was honestly intriguing, honestly. So yeah, after the mom and the baby was given to the mother, we had to take it for cleaning and then weighing it and checking the APGAR score, like the appearance, grimaces, can it move, is it crying, is it okay, check for jaundice, administer vitamin K, administer polio to avoid infections, blah 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 blah, all those processes, and announce the time of birth, take a footprint and stamp it in the file and whatnot. She was so powerless, guys. Can you talk about how weak she was after? Hey, it was there. It was there. But I felt so proud of myself. I was like, you know what, we did it, and she was very beautiful. That baby was big. She was 3.2 kg at birth. Guys, it's very rare to find an Indian baby over 2.7 kg. That's one thing I had also noticed. All of them were below that, but hey, this baby was healthy, beautiful, stunning baby girl. And that was it. The labor ward is just a beautiful place to be in, honestly speaking. It's amazing. So that's how our 21-year-old sweetheart gave birth. Our sweetheart gave birth to a beautiful sweetheart. It was lovely. I hope I did well at narrating stories, because I suck at story times. But thank you so much for watching. I let you guys a little bit into my career. Yeah, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Comment down below if you have any questions regarding the maternity ward. If I forgot anything that you would have liked me to add on into this video, feel free to subscribe for more content. Thank you so much for watching. Mwah. Bye.